to another episode of Spill It with Morg. I have a special guest here with me today. His name is Eric.
Hi, guys.
So we're going to kick off with what are we drinking?
We are drinking my favorite drink, which is a gin martini. Usually I do this with Bombay Sapphire, but this is with aviation gin instead. So it's a little bit different, but I also do it with a blue cheese olive. And a little bit dirty, but not much.
It looks pretty delicious to me.
Okay.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Here we go.
And try not to spill it. Oh, that show's fresh.
That's so good. I love a gin martini as well.
Yeah,
My
I just
favorite.
don't like alcohol that tastes like sweet. I want it to taste like alcohol.
Yeah, same. And I
So
think
martinis are ideal.
yeah, especially like a dirty martini with like some olive juice in it is just so good. It's delightful.
Even though you don't like blue cheese. But
I don't like blue cheese, but I'm going to force myself to eat olive anyway. Because the point of this is for everybody to make their drink a preference.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
and I just, I had to have some old fashions before. So
I do love those.
Not I. So besides gin, what else do you like to drink?
So I'm a big gin person. I'll do a vodka martini as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes with a twist, usually dirty though.
Yeah.
I'm a big whiskey drinker. I'll do really like whiskey on the rocks.
Right.
And then, I mean, just like, I don't discriminate. But I do not like rum. Rum's when I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm not, unless I'm on a beach, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't want it around me.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You do like wine.
Oh,
don't
I'm a
you?
big wine
Yeah.
person.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
you like red wine, don't you?
I like red, or I like a prosecco or like a
Oh.
blanc de blanc. Like
Nice.
I do
Okay.
love a sparkling. I love a sparkling.
Mhm.
I had 2 bottles of that last night.
Love that. Love
Not
that
alone.
for you.
Not alone.
You're like, not just me, but
Not just me.
I could. So, how did we become friends, Eric?
We met in Bloomfield. We were
Good old
both
Bloomtucky.
from Bloomtucky. I feel like my first real memory of you was junior high track.
Yep.
I think I ran. Like I remember. I think that was like around Ryan Daly era,
It
right? The
was,
start of
yeah.
Ryan and Daly.
The very beginning.
And I think like we were just like one-offs
Yep.
around that.
we were supporting characters.
Supporting our friends. And I don't remember anything about track much because I was not good.
No, it's
Not good at all.
distant memory for me as well.
Yes, but I think that's where I want to say that's where I met.
I
right?
think so.
But
yeah.
then like I want to say we didn't get close until we were in college.
Right.
You were a year below, but you hung out with Taylor Gilmore
Right.
a
Yeah.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I would stay at her place, and I would always party at the villas
Yep.
together.
The
at IU.
villas. Such a
Messy.
good time.
Messy,
but such a good time. I
But
love
yeah, I think that's when we came close.
Yeah.
And then obviously after college. But
Right.
yeah.
So yeah, that's how I remember it too. So it's so funny to me because when I have like people on the podcast, like asking them like how like they remember us being friends, it's funny to like hear their version of it because I'm always like, oh, I actually don't really remember. So I'm excited. I'm excited to
like,
see what they said.
Yeah,
so
that's
I'm
like,
"Huh."
I think it was track.
Right. No, but I actually do remember that. Yeah, because we
Uh-huh.
were like trying to get Daly and Ryan to be together.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Yeah, that's what I remember too.
Just the beginning of it all for them. So
Mhm.
back to the good old Bloomfield days and just being in high school. We went to college just here in Bloomington, which is not that far
Yeah.
from Bloomfield.
Yeah, we're in Bloomington now. We are
Yes,
seated.
we are in
my house
Bloomington now.
Yeah.
Yeah, at Eric's house, Eric and Trenton. And so we'll talk about Trenton later, by the way. And so we're just going to move into a topic so whenever you were in college, you came out as gay.
I did.
Okay.
I did. My
And
senior year.
Your senior year. Okay. Yeah, right. Saved it for the very last.
Saved it for the end.
Like the finale.
honestly.
Elfing. So I want to know kind of what was your experience, and you can either go down the route of positive or negative, or if you want to do a little bit of both, feel free.
I'd say overall, mine was pretty positive.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like me, I kind of did everything all at once. Like,
Yeah.
I don't do things like I don't like to do things halfway because it stresses me out.
Right.
So like, I feel like I started looking on apps,
Mhm.
and then I immediately was like, oh my gosh! And then I found someone immediately.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, now I have to tell everyone because I can't keep secrets to save my life, especially my own. Like, I can't lie to people.
Right.
So I immediately like started telling. Well, I think I told my sister first, and that was
Mhm.
obviously good.
Yeah.
She was great.
Yeah.
And then I want to say I told like my roommates, so like Anissa,
Mhm.
Patton, and Anissa and Colleen.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was my family, which they were pretty good too. Obviously,
Good.
like it took a minute for my dad, but he was great.
Yeah.
I mean, so supportive and everything.
Good.
I'd say like I said, I did it all at once. This was all in the span of like 2 weeks after I like even started looking.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
because I was either totally nothing or
Yeah.
like everything all at once.
Right.
so,
Like, here we
so, but it
go.
was like, I'd say it was a lot easier for
Mhm.
me to come out to my friends in Bloomington
Yeah.
than like my hometown
Sure.
people.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was just because like I don't have the like history of like my
Mhm.
entire life with them,
Right.
or like we're from a small town. There's like
Yeah.
that fear.
Right.
And I also felt like, so I think I told like Taylor and them before I told like, well, actually, I don't even know if I told Ryan, who's like one of my best friends, because like the thought of telling a guy you grew up with, because I feel like there's so like
There's a lot of horror stories.
there's so
around
many
that.
horror
Yeah.
stories, and everyone's like,
Right.
well, you don't want to tell like your buddies because they're gonna be like, oh, are you flirting with me? And like,
Right.
obviously, no. But Ryan would never do that. But there's
Right.
always the fear, like, even if you know
You're
someone
like,
so
what
well,
if? Yeah.
yeah, and like, obviously, he would never do that, and he didn't, and neither did my
Right.
other friends. Each time I had to tell someone, it was like you have heart palpitations, you're just like
Yeah.
sweating because you just never know how it's gonna go.
Right.
In terms of like negative I didn't really have any outwardly ones that like from me. I'd say there's probably other people that told people that like they're weird about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there was one friend who I actually was close with at the time,
Mhm.
who I went to dinner with them. And I think like I kind of told them later because I knew they would be weird because they're uber religious in a
Right.
religious in a way that's not super accepting.
Right.
And I remember they said they were like, it wasn't bad, but it was along the lines of, well, I'm glad you told me, like, I don't agree with your decision, but I still want to be your decision to be gay, but I'll still be your friend. I'm glad you told me, and I still want to like hang out. And I was like, decision.
It's like it's very hypocritical.
Yeah, I was like,
when
what do you
people
mean? Like,
say
I didn't
that.
choose this.
Right. Yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah, I was
God.
like, so that was like really odd, and we have not really hung out since then.
Right,
I was like,
right.
okay, that's the end of this.
Mhm.
So, but that was the one really just not
Yeah.
ideal. I like left, and I was like, okay, not gonna be doing
Like,
this
that
again.
wasn't
Not
great.
hanging out with you. But everyone else really was great.
Good.
I mean, I'd say like the first year being out like was still like, I mean, I was like dating someone,
Mhm.
which was maybe easier for me too because I was just like all in with them.
Right.
But it's still like it's scary to be out and like hold their hand and stuff like
Sure.
that too.
Yeah. Especially when you're not used to it. You come from like a small town like what we do.
Yeah.
That's not very accepting of things like that.
No,
And it's
no, not at all.
yeah, like I remember whenever I went to college and you're just like, Bloomington and Bloomfield are like total polar
100%.
opposites, which I am so grateful that I was raised in a family that just like had like the what's what I'm trying to talk about? Exposure. It's like different
Yeah.
groups of people. Like
Yeah, your family.
my grandma's
definitely.
best friends are gay. So like I had that exposure growing up. Never thought it was wrong.
And I did
so,
not, have that exposure at all,
Right,
really.
yeah.
But yeah, we just didn't have any friends. Like, well, my parents didn't really hang out with people around before.
Right,
or
yeah.
hang out with
They're
any
like,
people at
oh,
all.
we're gonna go off and do our own thing. Yeah. No, so I think no, I just want to hear your side of it and your experience with it because I don't know if we've ever actually talked about it. Like sat down and had that conversation.
Yeah, I don't think so. But like I said,
So-
everyone has been so, and even in Bloomfield, everyone's been really great.
Good.
I think I like have heard secondhand things of people not being great with it, but they've never been like that to
They never
me.
say it to you.
Never
yeah.
to me or never around me and never
Right.
been weird, which I guess is something.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah. You're
So-
like, well, all right. So
yeah, but
no, that's good. I'm glad that you've had an overall pretty good
positive
experience.
overall,
yes.
which I'm just very lucky. I think
Mhm.
very lucky because not everyone has that,
Right.
obviously.
Yeah, no, and I just thought,
Especially in Bloomfield because I know
yeah.
not everyone's got well there either.
Right,
So
exactly. Well, I'm always like trying to think of like, if this podcast were to grow and get a bigger audience, I want there to be stories that people can relate to and be like, oh, I came out as gay and here's my experience. So I want to make sure people have people to relate to. So that's
yeah. And I think we've all had people, call us a faggot before. Hey, party.
Yeah. You're like,
you're like, okay, well,
Yeah,
you're
no.
ugly, so
You're ugly, so you lose. Fast forward to now, you are in a committed relationship.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're in a committed relationship and you actually got a dog within the last year. So
we
I mean,
did.
and now Trenton lives with you. Like this
Yeah.
is serious.
This is a new me.
So, and I love that. You're in your committed era
I know.
and you're thriving.
Yeah, it's going well, surprisingly, because
Yeah.
no one thought I would do well with number one, another human in my home,
Right.
and number two, a dog.
A dog.
I think I was the last person anyone ever expected to get a dog.
No, I was
ever.
genuinely very shocked by that.
Yeah.
But I love it. And little
He's
Dewey boy's
very
in the next room. He's so sweet.
He is a sweetie. He loves people. Does
Yeah.
not like dogs. but we just keep him away.
Yeah.
So
Poor little guy.
yeah, but he's like a big boy, so he could hurt a little pup.
Yeah,
So-
no. I'll make sure I put up a picture for those that don't know what Dewey looks like.
He's adorable. I have
He's
not a
super
single
cute.
photo of him, and I don't think I've ever posted a photo of him either, but he exists.
Some dog dad you are. Jesus.
Let me live. Let me live.
So I wanted to ask though, now that you're on the other side here, you're out of your your era of just kind of, be bopping around doing whatever you want. Now you kind of have to, not I want to say report back to somebody, but you need to check with somebody where you make decisions now. This is big and this is huge. So I wanted to ask, what are some things that you have learned through the process about yourself or just about being in a committed relationship?
It's like tough. I feel like I'm still not always great at it. But now
We're
I
learning.
I always have to just think now before I could just go do whatever.
Right.
And I'm an extrovert. Like I need to be out and about doing things at all times with different groups of people. And now I have to be like, okay, if I was at work all day and Dewey was at home, I can't go out that night because I would feel too bad being gone all day and then being gone at night. So I have to plan my days out a lot better. And with Trenton too, like I'm used to just going on like trips like by myself or with friends and stuff like that.
Right.
And now I have to like think about him and his schedule.
Yeah.
Which thinking about others is a big growth. That I'd say that was my first tip is think of others. Something I'm not always good at, but I try.
We're working on it.
Yeah, working on it. And then I think, I don't know, I'd say with being a couple, like lessons is like I think like an element of surprise is always nice.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like if something big's happening in their life, like instead of just like chilling, saying congratulations, like getting them a little gift or like go and take him to like a nice dinner or like surprising him with friends and stuff like that. I was like, that's kind of I feel like hell is a big one. And I'd say, some little level of spontaneity is nice too, but I think a little more, you have to be a little more planning. You just have to plan things in advance.
Right.
And which, like I said, I'm not always good at because I like to just go and do things at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't slow down.
No.
Often.
Yeah. You guys are always go. Both
we
of
are.
you guys are just, I think it's really good that you found a partner.
Yeah. And I think that's another thing. Find
much
someone that,
extroverted
complements it too. And I feel like I'm more of a, aggressive personality type. Just a little more like out there and always just and he's like a little more, I feel like he's not reserved, but he like compliments me whenever I have to be the center of attention because that's who I am as a person.
Right. Yeah, no, he definitely is a good balance to you for sure. Yeah,
a balance. I think that's the word. I think a little balance helps.
And I think a lot of people say that about you guys. Like everyone's like, they just compliment each other so well. Like they go together very well.
One of the things that like I needed when dating someone is I have to be able to, like I said, I'm a social person. I have to be able to go to events or places and you can stand on your own.
Yeah.
Like I am not one like a red flag for other people.
Sit there and hold their hand.
I hate it.
Yeah. I think I'm the same way.
I've been around people like that. It drives me absolutely nuts.
Yeah, like I want to be like when like when I'm looking for like a future partner. I want to make sure that I find someone that can, like what you just said, hold their own. Go have your own.
And I won't abandon you, obviously.
No.
But just like if someone calls me over here, I need you to just be able to hold a goddamn conversation.
Yeah, being able to talk to people and just keep it going. Yeah, can I trust you?
And you don't even have to be outgoing. Like it's just it could be every once in a while. I just need you to be able to do your thing.
No, and that's exactly what Trenton can do. I mean, I've seen it. He'll talk to every person in the room. He's so good at it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he is.
I think you found your perfect match.
We'll see. I think so too.
No, I hope you guys stay together forever and ever.
Now that he's like moved in and has a job in Bloomington, that is more likely to happen.
Yeah. I think one of my goals is I want to have like multiple people on at one time.
Ooh.
It may be a little chaotic, but I think it'd be really good to have like my friends that are like in different relationships because like the different stages you guys are all in would be so key. Get some good advice out there. So,
and you need it, girl.
If anybody needs it, it's me. So, I wanted to ask this question just because I thought it was kind of fun. I just want to hear what you have to say about it. Okay. I may answer it myself. I'm going to think as you're answering. What is something that you would warn your younger self, knowing what you know now, at your, young age of? Are you 30?
Almost 30. Not quite.
Oh, that's right. Quite. March.
Yeah, I'm March.
Yes. Okay.
Pisces, baby.
Pisces.
I do think, like, I didn't really know what I wanted to do career-wise. And I do think, like, I originally was wanting to be, like, in labs and stuff like that. And I wish I'd actually maybe worked in a lab during college so that my applications to those roles would have gone a little better.
Yeah.
Love my role now, but my career now, but that was one thing. It's like maybe do a little pre-work before the end of college.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, now the real world's right there, and I worked at Lowe's.
No experience.
I worked at Lowe's, which was amazing. Shout out, sponsor.
And you always like redo your home and stuff.
Yeah,
so, like, so I did get some lessons.
Oh, if I go to the Bloomington Lowe's, I know exactly where everything is. Yeah. Like it is truly a gift. So I did get great skills out of it, but maybe a little more applicability towards my career. I'd say advice to myself. I mean, obviously there's like the coming out thing, like, hey, be comfortable, just do it, and like maybe accept yourself a little earlier than you did. But I think when I came out was an ideal time. I had the best college experience.
It worked for you. So.
Yeah, it worked great, but I think having the confidence a little earlier in life couldn't have hurted.
Yeah, no.
Couldn't have hurted.
All of us could have used it. It's fine.
Yeah, so I think that's one thing. And then I think there's like the lesson of like, hey, your life doesn't have to be like full, clean, pretty, like perfect at all times. Like there can be a little mess in there and you'll get through it and it's fine. I think I had a couple of those times. So
we love a messy
little mess.
Fine.
And I think it's just like, you'll get through it. Like it's just a time of your life. You know, I just your 20s.
Yeah, just your 20s.
Just parts of your 20s.
No one cares.
Not the whole thing, just parts of it. A couple of years were messier than others.
Yeah. That's some good advice. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know if it was great advice, but it's something.
Yeah, no, I love that. I was sitting here thinking like what I would say to my younger self. And I think one that I would always say is like, I have such a I need to go to therapy for this. I have a bad tendency to be like a people pleaser. So like I'll morph myself depending on who I'm with. Or I say back then. I feel like I don't do that now because now I just have decided like, if you don't like me, I don't really give a shit anymore. Like I just don't care. Like, I feel like I just wanted people to like me so badly, but it's like, but why? Like, what do I care so much about?
But I still do that.
Unfortunately, I still have. I mean,
we fight with that every day.
I gotta work on it, but I'm definitely getting better about it. I'd say it's something that I'm working on. So that's something I would like tell my younger self. Like, hey, it's okay. It's all right. Nobody has to like you.
And I think I'd also tell people that like when this is probably controversial, but when you're going to college, go for a job that exists, has great stability, great benefits. Yeah. Not necessarily like your dream, like I want to do this forever.
You can't do that unless you're
like,
rich.
Like I feel like no matter what you make it into a job.
Yeah.
Even if it's So but that's just me. That doesn't work for everyone.
No, honestly, now that I'm an adult,
I'm a practical person. I'm sorry. That's just who I am.
No, now that I'm an adult, I 100% agree with that. Like, because I always thought, like, I want to have this dream job or I want to do this. And it's like, actually, I'd rather go to the place that gives me like really good benefits because that's so important.
And like the thing is, your job's what you make it. Like as long as you love the people and like, or the job like that you start doing, you're like, oh, this is kind of exciting to do.
Yeah.
Then that's all that really matters. Like even if it's not like, I love interior design and I love home stuff, but I'm like, okay, if I was doing that every day, I feel like it'd feel like a job.
Exactly. It would no longer be like a passion or a fun hobby.
Yeah, and now I have something to fund my hobby. So
there you go. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna move into more fun topics. And I feel like this is what's gonna take up the bulk of the rest of our conversation because I think we're really gonna go off on tangents here. And I
just hope you've seen some of the ones that I bring up.
Probably not, but we're gonna see. So I want to know your top 3 horror movies because you and I both love horror films. Well, I wouldn't say I love horror. I love not horror. Well, I mean, maybe both. But I do love like a little thriller. So like I'm wearing a ghost face shirt. Mm-hmm. And Eric's wearing a Jennifer's Body shirt. It's like we obviously did not plan this. This was like we just did it.
I have so many horror themed.
You really do. You have so many. Yeah. So I need to know what's your top 3.
I feel like that's a really hard question because there's so many like categories of horror.
Like all time.
If we're talking like all time, okay, one of them that I don't know if everyone knows is The Descent. Have you ever seen The Descent?
I feel like I've heard it. What's like the premise of it?
So I want to say it came out in like 2002-ish.
Oh God,
that's very exact, but somewhere around early 2000s.
Okay.
It's not American. I want to say it's like Irish or somewhere abroad because it's like these 4 girls who one just had like a traumatic, like her husband passed as did her young child in a car wreck type thing.
Oh my gosh.
And they decide to go spelunking, like where you go in the cave systems and you go. I've
seen this.
It is.
I've seen this.
It is one of. I've shown everyone this movie.
That was terrifying.
It is terrifying. And the thing about this movie is like, so they go spelunking, which is like where you dive in these
Yeah.
little tiny holes in the ground in these cave systems.
No, I remember
and have
this.
to like find your way out because there's always an exit somewhere, but like it could be miles. You could get trapped into there. Like it is. The number one.
I would never do that.
Number
in my
one,
life.
it gets like scary because they get kind of trapped in there.
Yeah.
And number two, so like that's how it starts.
Isn't
so,
there like people underneath there that get them or something? Like
well, way to give it away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But no. But no, it's like. So
I'm just shocked I've seen this.
I love this movie so much because like the first half is like scary in a real life sense because you're like, oh my God, they're trapped. So there's the claustrophobia feel.
Yeah.
And there's also a couple of the girls that have a little bit of like, the one that like lost her husband, like there may have been one of the girls, like has like some suspicions about one of the girls with her husband at the time. Like, so there's also like some there's intermingling, like inter-issue drama. And then like, so I'd say you get about halfway through the movie and the first half's just like real life horror. And then the second half turns into like actually like scary shit be coming out.
Yeah.
Like scary shit be coming out and it's a little more like, oh, this isn't real anymore, but it's still scary as hell.
No, okay.
And
so
it's cool. There's blood and gore.
I watched it with my high school boyfriend Brody.
Shout out Brody. Oh, yeah. You probably haven't seen it since, have you?
No, I was so terrified. I was like, why are we watching this?
Yeah.
Never again. Okay, did the wife, or not the wife, the husband and the child die by like a log or something going out the car? Or like
it may have been a log truck that made them wreck.
Yeah, okay.
I think it was something like it's been a while since I've watched it. I could be getting
through them both or something.
That sounds right, but I don't really remember. But
okay,
I just
and I think Avery was there whenever we watched it too, because Avery always used to hang out with me and Brody because she was dating his best friend. So like we watched it, and I was like, that is I had nightmares for days.
I love that movie. I just think it is so well done. It is so like subtle, and it's like I love that it's like got the real horror as well as like the supernatural horror. And I think that's kind of fun. I don't want to give anything away, but it is a very exciting movie.
Oh my
God.
God.
Super, and it's usually on streaming too. I think it was on like on Max or whatever it is now.
It was terrifying.
I'm trying to think of what else some of my favorites were. Like, obviously, so this one isn't like a top, but like the Scream series.
So good.
They are so smart.
I love
They
them.
are so funny.
Haven't I try to guess like who the killer is every time?
Yeah, and like
so
the
good.
first one, like the iconic Drew Barrymore scene at the beginning. Like,
so good.
if you haven't seen it, like Drew Barrymore, like in the 1990s, what was it, late 90s, 99 or 96, something like that. She was the only one in like the trailer.
Yeah.
Well, they had other people in it, but like she was poised, like everyone thought she was the star.
Yeah.
Like she was on the cover of it. And then they go around and kill her within the first 5 minutes of the movie. And
that's like my favorite scene too.
So good. So well
Actually,
done.
no, I lied. My favorite scene's at the end whenever Billy and Stu are like literally losing their mind.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I literally dressed as Billy this year for Halloween.
You were so good. I loved it. I got so excited whenever you did that. That was amazing.
Yeah, I love the Scream movies. The first one obviously holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
But I love number 2 because obviously Sarah Michelle Gellar from Buffy the Vampire Slayer is in it. So I love number 2.
When she's like in college, all the frat stuff. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and the last 2 have been really good too, like the ones that just came out recently. So. But I wouldn't say those are like in my top. Like I love them. I do love them. But like
the fourth one really threw me for a loop.
That one was a total out of left field.
Yeah, whenever it was Emma, what's her name?
Emma Roberts was in that one.
She was sorry to maybe block your ears
if
you want to watch it.
Stop listening.
She ended up being the killer because she was her cousin. I was like, oh my! I was like shooketh.
Yeah,
shooketh.
That was amazing. But I would like
so good.
I don't know. Okay, so one of my favorite like classic. Well, I've got a couple of favorite classic ones, but like if I'm gonna go with like one. That because I like The Shining. I don't know if you've seen The Shining, but The Shining is another like psychological thriller that also has supernatural in it too. Maybe I like a little duo of action there. I don't know. But I read the book in high school. Stephen King wrote The Shining, and it was very different from the movie. Yeah, the ending is totally different.
Oh, I hate when they do that.
Yeah, but at the same time, the movie was done so much different because you're like a lot more of it is less supernatural and more like him dealing with like again like claustrophobia, being cooped up in a house with your wife and your kid, this huge maybe haunted building, and it's like, is it all in his head? Is it real? Is he just slowly losing his mind? And I just love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. So then that one's just like, I feel like that was Stanley Kubrick's just like obviously a genius, even though Stephen King did not really agree with his adaptation because it was so different from his book, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love that one. I think it's so well done. I think Jack Nicholson is incredible, as is Shelley Duvall with her huge eyes.
Yeah.
She's a great screamer. That's a hallmark of a great scary movie.
Nice.
And her face with her eyes just wide and scared. Oh, so good. Love Shelley Duvall.
I need to watch it once I get brave enough. I'm just like,
have you never seen it?
No, I watch the
Oh my
like
gosh.
the cheesy
Okay.
like scary movies. So, like my top 3.
Okay.
Scream 1000%.
Okay.
Like,
I figure, which is great, and I think that deserves to be on
so
people's
much
lists.
Ghostface stuff. And then my second favorite is Halloween. I love the Halloween series. I thought they
Great
were
series.
so
Great series.
so good. The only one I don't like out of that one is the third one, the Season of the Witch. That was so stupid.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, don't even waste your time. It was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I was like, "Where's Michael Myers?" And then I read about it. They were trying to like go off of it and do something totally different. You can't
be doing that.
He's literally the main. Why would you do that? It was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Okay.
And then my third one, as I said, like this is like the classic ones, is like the freaking Nightmare on 13th Street. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street, yeah.
Nightmare on
You're thinking Friday the 13th.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Well, then they have Freddy versus Jason.
Well, Nightmare on Elm Street had the beginning of Johnny Depp's career.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That was the beginning of him.
Yeah. No, I love those. And I love the newer one, too. I thought that was really well done.
I don't think I watched the newest one.
Oh, it's pretty good.
I love horror.
I think it's on HBO Max.
Yeah, I love like some like cheesy 80 ones, like Slumber Party Massacre, Killer Escapades. But I'd say like my third one. Okay, have you ever?
I thought you said your third one.
No. I was trying to think of what I like. So I don't know if you've seen the Evil Dead series. They started in the 80s. The first 2 were Sam Raimi. I don't know how to pronounce it. But the second one was Evil Dead 2. Mm-hmm. And it is so, like, the first one was more gore. Mm-hmm. But Ash is like the main character in it. Yeah. He was just in the newest Spider-Man, I believe. Because the actress, the director Sam Raimi did the latest Spider-Man, I believe.
Nice.
But anyways, Ash is like the main character. He survived the first one. Okay. Came back for the second one. Yeah. The other characters, it's a really funny and a really, really, really weird horror film. Like there's a lot of like weird noises. There's like weird stuff with like eyeballs and gore, but it's very like done in a way that's almost funny but good. Like I don't know how to even explain this movie. Right. But the Evil Dead series is one of the best horror movie franchises that is, I feel like, more underground. They just did a recent Evil Dead Rise. That was a recent one that just came out that was really good. Yeah. They did Evil Dead. They redid Evil Dead in like 2013. It was really, really good. Oh, dang. I actually saw that in theaters with Taylor. So shout out. And then the early ones were like 80. I want to say late 80s. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the second one is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I think everyone should watch the first 2 and the second one especially. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna keep those in mind. Yeah. I mean, there is a little like there's some stuff with like a vine going up a vagina. It's a little wild. But sorry to throw that out there. What? But anyways, so watch that.
Love that.
Yep. So I'd say those are. I'm gonna go with those. I'm gonna go with those.
Okay.
But there's also ones that like I love Pan's Labyrinth. But does that count as a horror movie? No, I don't think.
I've never seen it.
Aliens. Do those count?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if those really count either.
No.
I count those more like thriller. Yeah. Sci-fi. You know?
Yeah. There's like a fine line. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think the ones I said are not really considered horror.
I think yours are. I think yours are totally horror.
I think they're like more thriller.
I think yours are more horror.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, I mean, I feel like Halloween for sure. That's pretty gory.
And Scream, duh. I mean, it's Scream. Yeah, yours are all totally horror.
See, the thing is, like, I won't watch like any of the paranormal stuff, but I will watch like this stuff that's probably more likely to happen, like someone dressing up in a mask and going in your room and killing you. Like that could happen.
Paranormal Activity scared the poop out of me in junior high school. So I was petrified.
No, fun fact. So Daly and I had tickets to go see it, and her mom Kelly was going to go with us. And literally 20 minutes before we were supposed to leave, I go, guys, I can't go.
You did not.
I can't go.
You bailed.
I panicked.
Did they go by themselves?
We went to go see a stupid rom-com instead.
Which was?
I can't remember what it was.
You remember.
Daly's probably screaming right now going, it's this. I actually can't remember what it was. I was so scared to go, though. We were like freshmen in high school. I don't know what it was. No, I was so mad. Okay.
I saw it in theaters too, but I don't remember. I loved it.
Yeah, we were going to go see it. I was trying to be so brave, and I couldn't because I was like, I'm not going to sleep for days.
Well, that one just feels like, I mean, I love Blair Witch too, and that just like feels real.
Yeah.
It's shot on a freaking video camera.
Oh, I don't like that when it seems real.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think those are scarier in my mind.
Yeah. Because it's like, what if that actually happened? Like your door's opening in the middle of the night by itself.
And I think that's why I like all mine have a little bit of stuff. It's like, okay, that couldn't be real.
Right. You're like,
because I love to be scared, but like not at night when I'm trying to go to bed.
Yeah. Especially if you're by yourself.
Like, no thanks.
No, I would never be able to do that. No. But I know there was a long time ago whenever we went to Charleston for Daly's birthday little trip that we did few years back. We were just talking about 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And you had mentioned that you want to open up a dive bar and have like horror movie films playing on loop.
That's still like a long.
That's
I think
a really
long-term
cool
dream.
idea.
Like I just don't want anything fancy. I just want like an
You love a good
an
dive
old
bar.
venue.
Yeah.
I love a dive bar.
Mhm.
I want an old venue. I want dark walls. I want dark ceiling. Don't have to be black. I'll
Yeah.
do purple. Sure, why not? Red.
Oh,
Who knows?
yeah.
But like I just want it to look like it's been there forever, and I want it to like fit into the area. But I want like horror movies on a loop the entire time people are there.
That's such a good
And I want
idea.
some obviously like horror inspired drinks.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. Like I just think
No,
it'd be
I love
fun,
that. That's a really good
and
idea.
Yeah, I just think and like you could have horror movie stills or like portraits like in the bathrooms and stuff like that, and the light in the bathroom's red. I don't know.
Oh no, I love that. That's a really
I
cool
wouldn't want
idea.
to be like, obviously it would have to be in a way that's very like not overtly
not
obnoxious.
gaudy.
Like
but,
not gaudy, like
yeah.
okay, he's trying to do a horror bar, we get it.
Right. But
it
like
has to be a
also
little
like
more
tasteful.
subtle.
Yeah.
But I mean, but horror movies will be playing at all times.
Oh,
That's
I love
the only
that.
thing.
That's such a cool idea. Like whenever you said that, like I remember
And I'm
in my
sure it
head.
exists, but there's none around here. So
No, there's not. There's not. And
Yeah.
I think it'd be really like almost like a dark academia kind of vibe, but like
Yeah.
there's also like horror going on.
You
at
and
the
your
same
dark
time.
academia.
Oh, I'm obsessed.
I am too. I get it.
I think it's like a me core at this point. I feel like I
have some books I
love
need to
it.
loan you that I think you would also love that are
Okay.
Dark Academia that I just finished. I
Yes.
think you'd like them.
So we're moving to another fun topic. I'm so excited for this one. Hogwarts houses.
Hogwarts house. So yeah, I was an OG. I was an OG.
You were an OG fan, 1000%.
I was obsessed.
And I'm mad at myself for not listening to you guys sooner about this. Like you and
Our
Rachel.
friend Rachel and
Yeah.
and I were obsessed. We went to all the premieres. Avery loved the movie. Our friend Avery loved the movies, but Rachel and I were the book. Like I think I've read them all 4 times.
They're so good.
And I've taken the Pottermore quiz multiple times, and I'm a Ravenclaw every time.
I just don't believe that.
I also like,
I do believe it.
I do like I don't know if I like because I feel like I'm not the smartest person in a room, but like I feel like
no, you are
maybe
smart.
I think of things
but you
critically.
What you just said, like I'm a practical thinker.
Maybe I'm a practical. Maybe it's practicality.
And I think you
maybe that's
you
it.
love to learn though, and you love to read, and you love to like I mean I think that's what it is. Like your love of like learning new things. I think that's what it is.
I did. I
was shocked that I was a Ravenclaw as well.
Because I took Pottermore like a million times because I always want to see if I get something different. Although I will say, one time on Pottermore, I got a Slytherin Gryffindor choice. I'm like, who am I? Harry Potter?
I didn't know there was a choice.
I know. I've never heard of someone get. Well, I'm sure it happens to other people, but they literally choose between the two.
And you'd be Slytherin.
I think I chose Gryffindor only because I didn't know anyone else that was in Gryffindor that I was on Pottermore because Rachel was Slytherin.
Yeah.
Trenton's like Slytherin.
Yeah, Trenton's Slytherin. Which
is also surprising.
That is surprising. He's definitely more like I feel like a Gryffindor.
I would think
he's not quite a Hufflepuff, but he's definitely a Gryffindor.
Yeah. And I always loved growing up being a Ravenclaw.
I actually love it too, especially now that I've like read the books, watched movies, got to know Luna Lovegood. I feel like just like my spirit animal. I love her so much. Cho Chang, yeah,
she was right.
She was.
I loved Cho Chang.
Loved her too. No,
she was a little minimized in the movies. But here we are.
She was, and she was such a big part in the books. Made me so sad.
Yeah, she was a little minimized, but
no, I'm a huge Luna girl. Love her.
I loved Luna too.
Yeah.
I loved Luna too.
She was
Who
so
else?
Weird.
Wasn't there one other big Ravenclaw in the books? I mean, were the Patil girls or were they both Gryffindors?
I thought they were Gryffindor. I need to reread.
It's been a minute.
I need to read.
I haven't reread them in ages.
No, I need to read. Well, I just read for the first time like 3 years ago. Was it? I became so obsessed. Asking everybody their houses and stuff.
Yeah, I just hate J.K. Rowling so much. I just hate supporting her.
She's the worst.
Disgusting.
That makes me.
But I'm like, if I already own the book, I'm not supporting her anymore, right?
Right? No, you're not.
And I'm like, I've heard people talk about this recently. Like, hopefully, in my mind, I'm just gonna go with it. Like, at this point, Harry Potter is beyond her.
Yeah.
Like, she may have written it, obviously, but I think it's beyond her.
Yeah.
It's got its own lore and like world. Favorite character, I was always a Hermione. I loved me some Hermione. I was a Hermione.
Not me. Not Hermione. You.
No. Yeah. So she was always a favorite character. Loved McGonagall.
Oh,
I just love a strong female character. I'll say it.
That's why I mean, Luna's not like a strong character, but
she is though.
She's a good supporting role there, and her role's so important.
Mm-hmm.
I just love her for it. I do love me some Draco.
Yeah,
love me some Draco Malfoy.
I disagree, but here we are.
Right. Aren't you a Cedric Diggory?
I did not like Cedric Diggory only because in the movie I thought he was so obnoxious. I was like. And I always like.
Wait, who did you liked Wood? That's who you thought was cute. That's right.
Yeah, he was my like. What's going on in my mind? Because I would have crushed.
You're like, whoa.
Yeah, it was Oliver freaking Wood. It was Oliver Wood. Yeah, I was obsessed with him.
That's
He was in
awesome.
just the first movie.
Yeah,
Literally,
never saw
I don't
him
think he ever
again.
came back.
No.
But I was obsessed with him.
Oh my god. No, I'm so obsessed with Draco. I think Draco is so cute. Or he was, and then he got better as time went on.
He did, thankfully.
Now
Not great. He never got great.
He
but...
was a little weasel.
Uh-huh.
He was really annoying.
I'm trying to think of who else I was like obsessed with, and when I read the book, it's been so long since I've read them or even watched them. I actually haven't watched them in years.
I'm gonna watch them between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
I mean, it's like that time of year. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too. I was like, I feel like I need to. What's your favorite movie of which one?
I love The Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah,
that's my favorite one because I love Sirius Black.
That's
right.
Yeah,
Sirius Black is my favorite character. That's what it was. Yeah.
I will say, I think that's my favorite of the film. A lot of people hate the second one, but I like the second one so much.
I thought the second one was good.
But you hate freaking Gilderoy Lockhart.
Yeah, he's annoying. Gilderoy Lockhart. Yeah, you're right.
I was like, I freaking hated him. Whichever was the point.
Also, the blue cheese olive was not that bad. Not my favorite, but not that bad.
I
choked it down, so it's fine. It's all right.
Well,
I also love the Goblet of Fire, just because like the whole like concept of it was really really cool. Everybody coming and like
Order of the Phoenix is a film.
Yeah, that was a great film.
And that one's like you got action, like things are happening
at the end, especially.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, and those beautiful orbs are crushed on the ground. You're like, okay, pretty. I mean,
Yep.
I love the little Bellatrix, obviously. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy girl.
Crazy
A day
girl.
like her.
But she looked amazing. She looked
did.
amazing.
She did. The way that I did it is I would read a book, watch a movie, read a book, watch a movie, read a book, watch a movie.
So I used to go and get the books at midnight. I would get the books. We would go to Walmart in Linton, Indiana.
And you would stay up and probably read all
night.
Yeah,
we'd stay up and we'd read like for like 2 days or however long it took straight to read the entire thing.
That's amazing.
It was me and my sister. Usually my uncle Darren, like if he was in town, he lives in Texas, but if he would go with us and we would literally go get the book at midnight.
That's insane.
Like not even going to, like we would see me and Rachel would go to the movies and dress up. And I think Avery went a couple times too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we would literally go get the book.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing though. Love that. See, so my big thing whenever I was younger, I was really big in like the Twilight books and movies.
Okay.
It's like
I've never read or seen them. Never. I know. And it's very not like me.
I am so mad at you.
I think I was trying to be like counterculture. Like
yes.
Too cool for
you
Twilight.
And Taylor both do that. She doesn't like half the stuff just because other people like it. I go, get for real. And you'll love it. It's so good.
Okay. I'll try it.
You'll love it. And
I think I need to read them first.
am Team Jacob. Just want to throw that out there. But no, okay, so favorite Harry Potter character, Hermione. Mine's probably, now that we've gone through all of the cast, I think mine is Sirius.
I think that's a good choice.
So yeah, and then Luna, and then Draco. We don't have to do top three on Sirius. It's Sirius Black.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're moving into a really fun little topic. I'm so pumped. So a long time ago on Instagram, I asked you guys what you would say your red flag is. And I made note of every single response.
Is it like a red flag that they have?
About themselves.
Oh, about themselves. Okay.
So so for example, like I said for me, like mine is that I am really stubborn. So like that's one of my red flags. Like I am extremely stubborn and I will not budge on a topic even if I'm wrong. I will not. So that's my toxic, or not my toxic trait, my red flag.
Okay.
So there was a lot of people that responded, and we're going to read through some of them. And then Eric and I are going to give each other red flags. So, like, I'm going to go over Eric's red flags, and he's going to go over mine. So I'm going to give you time to think about it while I'm going over it.
Because I do need to think about it.
He's like, oh.
Well, I already have a couple on the top of my head.
I was like, I actually wrote yours down. So
great.
We're ready.
Great. Can't wait.
Okay. I just love this so much. These were so funny. So I'm excited to see what your responses to these. Okay. So this person said, keeps my list in my phone notes. I think that's not a red flag.
I have that. So
I know. I'm like, okay. I mean, I do that all the time, but great. Pop off.
Yeah, I think that's normal.
Also, I still text my ex even though his name in my phone says do not text back.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
That's a red flag.
That's bad.
I know who this was too.
Do that.
Someone said friends with my ex. That never works out.
I feel like
I feel
like it works out more in the gay community, but even then, I don't have any of that.
Right. It's like.
But I've seen a couple that like are great. And I'm
Yeah,
like, good for
they
you
make
guys.
it work. Yeah, I mean,
But I feel like both have to have kind of fully moved on.
yeah, and be
for
like
that to be real.
healthy and like
Healthy
yeah.
relationships. The couples like have to get along. I feel like it gets too weird. if
Yeah.
not.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ooh,
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel
It
about
can
like,
get messy.
yeah. I feel like I'm always right, extremely stubborn, and have the last word.
I think we all struggle with
I
that.
was like, I feel like that's me. Did I put that?
Because I struggle with that as well.
Oh, I do. I stay being late. So bad at estimating time.
That's a big red flag for me. I do not handle that well.
No, it's like,
So,
but it's also like whenever you have other people's time to worry about,
yeah,
it's kind of disrespectful.
I get stressed about being late. I have anxiety about it, so I'm always like 10 minutes early.
Yeah.
Well,
me
not
too.
always,
I do
but
the same
yeah.
thing. Like I can't do it.
Yeah.
I need to go to therapy for that too. I find myself so lazy on the days I want to be productive. That's normal.
Yeah, I feel like that's normal too.
I mean, everyone does that.
Because it's all the stuff you don't want to do.
Right. Like it happens.
Yeah.
Pop off. Codependency. That one's a good one. Because I can relate to that. I can relate.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's not good.
I don't handle that well.
You're like, no. I fall hard and quickly. Essentially a stage 5 clinger.
Can be a red flag, but also can be endearing, I feel like.
Maybe. My emotions often get in the way of my decision making. That's everyone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I never make my decisions without my emotions getting involved, unfortunately.
Yeah. I feel like I'm pretty good about not having emotions.
Yeah, I think so. I can be brutally honest to the point of hurting people's feelings.
That's like a mixed bag. Like honesty is a positive, but also like have a filter.
Yeah, maybe don't.
Yeah, like maybe don't say mean things.
Yeah. I mean, of course be honest.
Honesty's good though. I mean, if I have a booger on my nose, tell me.
Yeah, just let me know. Or if I'm being annoying, just say, hey, pipe
also
down.
tell me.
Yeah. Like, hey,
but also like just have tact.
I don't like movies. Yeah, I say that's a red flag for me.
That's a red flag. I would not.
Because I love movies. I know you love movies too.
I'm a movie. I'm not really a show person. I'm a movie person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big.
I love watching movies too. Love a good movie. Mm-hmm. How fast and easy I can unattach myself to people.
Is that Taylor?
No. I actually don't know who put this.
Okay.
I don't even think Taylor even responded. And I was like, well, I can write a few for her. It's okay.
I feel like that is an admirable trait.
Yeah,
it's a red flag and an admirable trait.
Right, like I
wish I could do that.
Same.
Oh,
I get attached and I can't unattach ever.
We know.
Yeah, it's bad. My inability to ask for help.
Mother. I think that can be a red flag.
Yeah, it can be depending like what it is. Like
yeah, I feel like if things are like aren't getting done or like things are not going well, like
right.
I'd be like, bitch, just ask.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know.
It's no big deal.
So yeah,
I love this response. Someone just put my ex.
Yeah,
love that. Love it. That's your red flag. But I mean, if they were a shitty person, yeah. Either my way or no way.
That's red flag.
Yeah, that's red flag. that is red flag.
I mean, that's it.
This one says I'm stubborn too.
Okay, a lot of stubborn people.
If I don't like you, you will know. I can't hide it. Oopsie.
Yeah, I also think that's a red flag. Like,
you gotta be able to cover up your face.
just. I mean, there are times we all struggle with that. I feel like there are times,
right?
But get a little poker face, baby.
Yeah,
get a little poker face.
Yeah,
work on it.
Yeah,
start playing.
Practice in the mirror.
Playing blackjack.
Right. I like to talk about myself too much. Yeah, that's a red flag.
Yeah, I get that though, but I'm saying
that's always bothers me.
It's my favorite topic, so
I'm always like, can we not?
Yeah, no, I'm in. I'm in for it when it's about myself.
Right.
Yeah, so I get that one.
The last one, controlling.
Controlling is rough.
That is a red flag. And actually, it was a guy that submitted that. So I was like, hey, I appreciate you actually having the self-awareness and knowing that you have it. Like, that's fine.
Let's work on that.
Let's go to therapy and work on it. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I can't read it. Don't worry. I wrote it in pink ink.
I know. I did it on purpose so you want me able to see
I can't read that from an inch away.
Okay, so I said 3 for you. Okay. So have you thought of 3 for me, or you were too focused on everybody else?
I was a little focused, but I at least know a couple.
Okay. Oh, at least. Yikes. Okay. So you're number one, and this is like so easy. Everyone obviously knows this if you know Eric. You have commitment issues.
Yeah. I knew that was going to be my
Right.
first one.
You knew that was gonna be there
I
somewhere.
do have commitment issues.
Yes.
It's a problem, which is why getting a dog and being in a 4-year relationship is memorable. Like,
Yeah.
it's an accomplishment because it is a lot.
Right.
Because,
Right.
yeah, I struggle with that and always have. It gives me anxiety.
It's okay. It's all right. You're like, I'm getting a little nervous.
Yeah, I'm getting hot even hearing the word.
Nervous. Your second one, and honestly, I think you worked on it based on what you just answered with your first one. Compromise.
Yeah, that's another. I do struggle with compromise
Yeah.
because I like things my way or the highway,
Yeah.
and so I've worked on it.
You have. I mean, look at what you've got going on now.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, but it has been a struggle,
Yeah,
and there are a lot of times where I still do force my way.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That's like we have a group of friends in Wilmington that like we'll talk about going out to dinner, and it's always like, well, where does Eric want to go?
You're like, well,
but I do always try to give the onus on them. I try to put it on them, and they don't make a choice. I was like, well, I'll choose.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to choose, I'll
choose.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
Someone has to.
Someone's got to.
Okay.
Oh God.
Whenever you want to cry, you watch a sad movie instead of just discussing with somebody. That's the way you do it. You do that instead.
That is true.
Instead of just talking through it.
Well, I don't really like. I feel like I don't have a lot of emotions, so I do have them, but they don't naturally come out. So like, in order to get them to come, because I know I need a release, or I will blow up.
Yeah, literally will combust.
I just like to be alone and watch a sad movie and make myself cry during the movie, and then I'll feel like I got it out.
Right.
And it doesn't pertain to my life; it pertains to something happening in a movie. So it's a separation issue, I think. Okay, yours.
Oh God, I'm nervous.
Nervous. I feel like your first red flag is truly your taste in men. Like, honestly, can that be a red flag? Because it's literally your taste.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Like, you'll have so many good options, and then you choose the worst one, the most random, off the wall, like out of nowhere from the sewer trash. Like, I don't get it. Which you've had a couple good ones, I will say. I'm not saying like if you're watching this, like maybe you're a good one, but for the vast majority, they've been dirt trash.
They've been really, really bad.
Yeah, so I'd say that would be your first one.
You can be as mean as you want.
I think your second one would be your.
Oh God.
You get a bit of an addictive personality.
Oh yeah.
Like your hyperfixation with things and people, and like
Hogwarts houses, zodiac signs.
Your Marvel era, your random people you're obsessed with. I feel like that
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow, like the other guy that was in the Marvel movie, Chris Evans. I couldn't remember his name.
No, my personality pretty much at this point is Joe Burrow and Halloween, and everyone just knows. I mean, that's like the one thing I'm sent the most on Instagram is like, oh, here's a Joe Burrow thing. Like the one like when people are saying, like when people are like, oh, whenever they found out like he was engaged, they were given like 9-cent shots or whatever, and people like I had like 10 people send me that, and I was like, thanks guys, I'm aware.
I feel like your third one. Maybe that, like, I feel like you're quick to make a decision without maybe giving someone a chance.
Yeah.
Maybe. I feel like you drop it like a hot cake.
You are
often,
correct.
Early.
Yeah.
Early on. Before they've been able to show what they actually are. So
once I get the ick, there's no coming back.
And you are gone quick.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Maybe like Tom and Cruise.
I think maybe that. Yeah. I'll give those.
Okay. Those aren't as bad as I thought. I mean, they're bad. They're bad. I need to work on them. But yeah. No, the hyperfixation one is like so dead on.
Yeah.
That is 100%.
Yeah.
It is part of my personality.
I do agree.
You ready for rapid fire?
I don't really know what that is, but sure.
Okay, so rapid fire. I'm going to ask you 5 quick questions, and you have to answer quickly.
Oh, yeah. This is like we did in the other ones. Okay.
Yeah. Well, like, you have to be really, really quick, though.
Okay.
Like, there's no time for hesitation. Are you ready?
I guess.
Also, this is, like, near the end. You've almost made it.
Okay.
Pop off. Okay. What's a color that looks good on everyone?
Black.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Okay, I didn't know if you had something else to say.
Well, I mean, I love like yellow, but not everyone looks good in yellow, and I won't pretend they do.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Elvira or Gwen?
Gwen. Oh, that's like, so hard. No.
What is your fave Buffy saying?
Oh, saying?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't even think of one. It's like my mind's blank.
I knew I was gonna stop down one
She
of
has
these.
one about. She has one about her beeper that I literally have on a wall. Like she's like, if the world's ending, beat me, like something like that, because it's so 90s when they had beepers. Like
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
love that. Okay. What's your favorite book of all time?
Ooh, favorite book? Um, what do I say? The Bible? It's not,
Oh,
but I'm sorry.
we all
So
know it's not
sorry.
yours.
Sorry. I loved a book called The Night Circus.
The Night Circus?
Yeah.
Wait, I've heard of
Did you
that
read it?
one. No, but I've
I
heard
want to
of
say her
that.
last name is Erin Morgenstern. I want to say is maybe her name.
Nice. Morgenstern is like
I
is in the
yeah, I
bookstore?
believe that's her last name.
Ah,
I was
interesting.
I don't know if it's my favorite. Like I love that book though.
Okay.
Have I read it since high school? No, but I know I loved it.
You know you love it.
I read it
Okay.
in large print, if it tells you anything.
Oh,
It was what was available.
love
So
that.
yeah.
Love that. And last question. Who is the hottest ghost face?
Billy.
Billy Loomis,
Billy
baby. I knew you were gonna answer that way.
Loomis.
Oh, I just knew it.
Obviously.
All right. Well, you made it through.
Okay.
We did it. The drink is done.
The drink
questions
is
are
done.
done.
The drink's been done for a minute.
They've been done for a minute. They went down a little too smooth.
They did. They
They
always
did.
do. That's the
So
problem.
yeah, I'll be sure to put up the recipe. I think it was pretty simple.
Yeah, it's literally 2.5 ingredients.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
So easy peasy for you guys to make while you watch this.
Yeah.
And thank you for being on here.
Yeah,
You did
thanks
such
for
a good
having
job.
me. I was stressed.
Yeah, he was really,
I
really
was
stressed,
nervous.
but you did a
Oh,
great job.
thank
I feel
you.
like everyone's always nervous, and you guys
Yeah, I
always
feel like
kill
that's
it.
a natural.
Yeah.
And speak to being on a camera.
Yeah, literally.
So,
So this giant ass ring light just like in your
giant-ass ring
face.
light,
So
yeah.
All right, well, thank you.
Okay.
And I hope you guys all enjoy this one. Please be sure to like and subscribe and then comment if you want to join the conversation with Eric and I and what we talked about. And I will catch you on the next one.
Thanks.